was reportedly falling asleep in the drive-thru, and when he pulled up to the window, he handed the worker a rolled-up $10 bill. The employee opened the bill when a white powdery substance spilled out, covering her hands in the counter.
Baby powder.
Why is he asleep after doing cocaine?
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Townies, I'm all in on Faherty's well-crafted clothes and laid-back vibes, and if you're new to the brand, you have to check out their Movement collection.
Amazing.
Faherty is a family-built, values-driven brand that crafts clothes for life's great moments, whether that's an all-day surf session, a road trip with your family, or a bonfire on the beach.
So for our listeners and listeners of this show, Faherty brand is offering 20% off your first order when you enter the promo code 20DPT at checkout.
So go to FahertyBrand.com/DPT. That's FAHERTY. brand.com/DPT. Use the code 20DPT. Check them out. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. You know, a lot of us spend our lives wishing we had more time. The question is, time for what? If time is unlimited, how would you use it?
The best way to squeeze that special thing into your schedule is to know what's important to you and make it a priority. Therapy can help you find what matters to you so you can do more of it. Learn to make more time for what makes you happy with BetterHelp.
Visit BetterHelp.com/DPT today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/DPT. Hey, Townies, welcome to another episode of Dumb People Town. Population
Kilmartin.
We're going to kill Martin this thing.
Kilmartin.
Laurie Kilmartin, one of our favorite comics, amazing writer. We described this to you right before we started as like, this is the moment in the writer's room, because we've all been in writer's rooms, where everybody's like, before you start working, you're like, have you seen this crazy thing right now? Let's get into it, make a bunch of funny jokes. And then they're like, oh, shit, we got to get back to work.
Yeah.
So that's what we say at the end of this show.
Oh, shit, we got to get back to work.
But before that, we get into the crazy stories. We'll talk about, you have a new special, which we will promote. Top a second segment. Can't wait to let people know about that. It's so funny. So our fans send in stories. You can do it. The way we still do it is on, do we call it X? I don't want to use a dead name. Is it Twitter? Whatever. Is that people can tweet or X at us, me and Dan and Jay, me and Jay and Dan, at Sklar Brothers, at Dan and Van Kirk, and you just send us the headline, and then that lets us know who said what, sent what, and when.
Perfect.
So our first one is sent in by a guy who sends a lot in, and he's a wonderful guy, Matthew Friedman, at not your AVG, not your average Matt. Here we go. And I wonder, like, I love this story. This happened a while ago. I don't know why we never did this in our sports podcast, but it happened at a stadium, which is interesting. And like how it all got down and went down, to me, is what's the funny part about this. Okay. It's not funny that this happened at all.
He said.
Here is the headline. Gun fired at White Sox game was
familiar with this.
Snuck in via woman's, quote, belly fat. Now, that's not nice.
Wait a second.
She folded it.
She folded it over. So going through a detector of sorts.
There's an entire like stream of TikToks of women like bringing things into concerts and stuff, hiding them under their breasts.
You know, I mean, why demonize belly fat? Like,
Right.
I agree.
we say it like that. We're
It's a pouch.
demonizing it.
It's a pouch.
A part of the body.
It's right, exactly.
Yes. Use what you have.
Yes.
It's God's fanny pack. It's God's front butt.
Nobody says like, oh, she only was able to lift that because of her muscles. We don't. That's not viewed as she used her body in a way to achieve her goal.
She snuck it in.
This woman used her body in a way to achieve her goal, which was gun concealment.
See, I would sneak in food easily.
Yes.
Just try to
100%.
a fountain drink if possible.
Yes.
But a gun is very dangerous.
I have sneak in pouches for that very reason. That's
right.
They're plastic.
Yeah.
You go through any metal detector.
Right.
And you just fill them up with whatever your cocktail choice is. So when you get into the venue, you're not paying $11, $12, $15
Dan, I like
for a
so
cocktail.
smart. Dan,
Yeah.
you could be like. So the good news is this gunshot happened at a White Sox game. So there are no fans.
Nobody
no
there.
one's in
I
danger
mean,
of
if you
getting
watch the Red Sox,
And
hit.
the
Ricocheted
fans-
around the stadium and just hit an empty seat.
The fans who were there thought this is just another celebration.
I thought it was a promotion.
It wasn't a loss.
Right.
It wasn't the White Sox. Your buddy
Steve Dahl.
Steve Dahl did the Death to Disco.
Yeah, uh-huh.
That classic
Disco
moment.
Oh,
where they
that's
put
right.
Disco Demolition. It was a
Fireworks.
a radio promotion between a doubleheader.
He hurt the Bee Gees' feelings. I remember that from the documentary.
Yeah.
I'm like, that garbage.
Odenkirk
Yes.
has been trying to like make this movie forever.
He should.
And
It's
was
pretty great.
40,000 people came out not for the game, but for that promotion.
To take their disco records and burn them.
Then Steve. He's so great.
He is a wonderful
back in LA,
dude.
we should have him on.
Oh, he's a friend? I'm
Yes.
sorry.
No, it's fine.
No, it's great. It's a brilliant.
Steve.
She was being protective of the Bee Gees.
Yes.
Understandable.
And
guys.
I would as
Let's
well.
respect the dead here. Like Barry is
Barry's still with us.
Still with us.
Yes.
But is
I will say,
is he really? I will say Barry may rest in peace. I know he's not dead. I just want
They
to
had
sleep.
they had a demolition guy to blow them up, and I think quickly people started to realize we've got somebody who's way too into the
explosives?
demolition. Yes, yeah. So craziness.
Start a fire,
at a
explosions,
White Sox
fireworks.
game. Not unheard.
So this
I
is not
remember
unheard
when
of.
this happened.
Okay, so the investigation into shooting, which happened a while back, in which 2 women were struck by gunfire at the White Sox athletics game. So there's even less people there.
It's an A's game.
Oakland A's.
Honestly, if I wish we had the number for attendance that game, I would bet you it is
5,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's under 6,000.
So
people.
at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago. Terrible name for a field.
Comiskey.
Right. Came to an almost unbelievable conclusion as to how the gun got into the ballpark. According to a report by Chicago-based ESPN 1000. Is that where your friends?
That's Waddle and Sylvia.
Yeah, 2 sources close to
a lot of other great people
close to the investigation said the gun was brought into the stadium hidden in the rolls of a woman's belly fat. I don't think you needed to say rolls. 1 roll.
I agree.
Right.
But rolls?
Right. No.
That's
But you're just saying one roll would be fine.
It wasn't multiple guns. It was one gun. So you
one
just
gun.
need one
roll.
You need one roll, one insertion, one shelf. That's all you need. You don't need
flap,
to get
if you will.
Yes, if you will. Yes.
A 1 flash envelope. 1 flap down. ESPN reporter Peggy Kaczynski said one of the
Peggy's
women who
great.
was grazed by the bullet
Shut
in the
up, Peggy.
incident. She was grazed by the bullet, snuck the gun in past metal detectors, so she was grazed by the bullet
That she
the
shot.
gun that she snuck in.
Did her own body shoot her?
Oh, maybe
It is sort of fitting when the body strikes back.
So many people in her family have said that to her. Diane, you're killing yourself. Literally.
You're only hurting yourself by doing this.
I'm growing envelopes every day. That's what
That's
that's
right.
all I'm saying.
I'm working on mine. The report said sources claim one of the women was wounded when the gun later went off. So it did set off metal detectors 3 separate times.
Something bit me. Remember that scene from was that The Professional? Where she shoots through the wall and it hits a woman and then she goes, something bit me. She's this larger woman.
I was more focused on the fact that this guy's sexualizing a 14-year-old woman, a girl.
Yeah.
Right?
Wait,
That
what
is a
happened?
lot.
Oh, the
Oh,
professional.
the professional.
Yeah,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I just at the time, even though it was
Natalie
not,
P,
it was
right?
not accepted.
Natalie Portman.
It was not
Yeah.
accepted.
So she
but
did that in 5 movies. She was in Beautiful Girls, and you're like,
Yeah. Her parents needed to, I don't know, step down a little bit, just
or step in,
de-accelerate the career.
or
Yeah.
step in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need more roles like this.
No.
Yeah, I just remember watching that movie in the theater with people, and I was like, afterwards, I was like, that was wrong, right?
I'll be honest. I swear to God.
It's we all feel icky.
Right.
Yes.
That's the only part of that movie I remember.
Oh God,
what, that he was.
I don't think I've ever even watched the whole thing.
he's like
he's
French.
No, the only part I remember is that woman yelling, something bit me.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the French version, the original? I don't know if the girl is older. She's
Well, okay.
legal. Maybe that's why you didn't see it.
I
But
did. I mean, you know us.
Not our thing, Lori.
Sorry.
Welcome back to canceled people town.
Security performed subsequent checks, so she went through the detector.
Yeah,
it went
I
off
know.
several times.
Dude, they're just happy people are there.
So
we gotta get rid of these hot dogs.
She's like, it
turn
must
away
be my-
audience.
right? She's walking through. Beep. It must be my Apple Watch. Beep.
It's
beep.
my bracelet.
It's my shoe buckle. Whatever. And they don't want to search her. I'm sure they don't want to feel
It's
her
not that
up in-
invasive.
I don't think it's that. Anyway, so both women, and I'm not going to give you their ages yet, were wounded. Were expected to recover from the shooting, which is why we're doing this story.
I mean, it is fitting that
Does
they
it get
shot
into
themselves.
the part? Does it get into the part where they don't tell anybody?
right.
At the stadium, it
The-
was
the
a gun
people
went
that
off.
got shot
No, a gun
don't
went off,
mention
and
it?
they know a gun went off, and they didn't say "Hey, let's guys,
evacuate."
Yes,
Right.
or
Yeah.
we can't keep playing here. We got shootings going off in the stadium.
So, I do want to guess
'Cause
their
there was a lot of
Do
confusion
we want to
at
guess
first.
their ages now?
Sure.
Okay, let's guess the ages of these 2 women.
Are they the same?
No, they're not. The same.
36 and 37.
36 and 37. How old do you think these?
I'm going to go 48 and 51.
48 and 51. Okay.
42 and 44.
Okay. One of you has one age right. But you ready for
Is
this?
it like 37 and 9?
No, it's a unique. Like I'm like how are
63 and 41.
I'm kind of like how are these women friends? But I kind of
Okay, yeah.
office
yeah,
friends. You ready
yeah,
for their ages? 42 and 26. That's a little
Right.
right.
Now, wait, which one do we think had the gun?
So wait, I want Laurie because Laurie, I'm so happy you're here.
Yeah.
Try to, you know nothing about these women. Explain the relationship of a
42-year-old and a 26-year-old.
Like how are they friends? How do they know each other? And
It
who's
doesn't
giving?
say they're related.
Who's giving each other what?
The 42-year-old is trying to start an online business, and she needs a 26-year-old to explain Instagram to her.
Right.
That's how I think.
And we got these 2 tickets that I won from the grocery store.
Right, yeah.
From the Jewels.
Yeah. They're going to learn it. She's going to teach her at the game. They're not even going to watch the game. She's like,
See how people
it'll be,
can tag the team, and
It'll
then
be-
they show up on the screen.
it'll be very
what I
quiet
need to
and
know.
relaxing at the baseball game.
The husband's like, why are you going to the game with her? She does my post for me.
It is weird being at
Now
a
roll this gun into my stomach.
when you're in a stadium with that few people. It's like when you're on a quiet lake. The conversations you can hear, around.
left field from first base.
I have the attendance, by the way.
Aaron, can we let's guess? Well, hold on, let's do that at the end. We'll
Okay.
guess that at hold the attendance.
Thank
Okay,
you,
do you
Aaron.
want to guess the
Love
score
you.
of the game? Who won in the score of the game?
White Sox
Did not win.
No, they beat the
there's
A's.
no way they beat
Okay,
the
what's the
A's.
score, Jay? What do you
4-1.
think? What do you think?
I think A's 3-0.
Okay, what do you think?
I'm from the Bay Area, so I'm just going to go for the A's.
A's, and give me a
So
score.
Las Vegas A's.
9-1.
Okay.
I like that. That's not far off.
12-4.
See,
A's. A's 12-4.
I told you.
She was right. All right.
What? That felt right when you said it.
The less you understand baseball, the better,
Better
you
you
are.
are at
Closer you
this
get to the
game.
score.
All right, and there's certainly an A's White Sox game in the middle of the season that no one's at. Police said a 42-year-old sustained a gunshot wound to the leg. The 26-year-old had a graze wound to her abdomen. Reports
Wait,
said
so does that? I still am unclear about who had it.
My
though.
guess is
which
it
one
was-
do you think had it?
in the
The
26-year-old's
26-year-old had
Yeah,
it. It
right.
grazed her coming
abdomen
out.
on the way out and then got into the leg. Yeah. Citing White Sox security sources, why would you bring under what?
Guys, you don't understand the stories that came out as this was happening. At first,
Why
I think
would
the
you
White
bring
Sox
a
tried to
gun?
claim that somebody shot a gun from somewhere else, and the bullet went into the stadium and hit somebody.
Oh.
That they were like in some high-rise downtown.
I
Oh,
mean,
like
it was all.
the Vegas guy or something?
Yeah, like theories
Yeah, but it
are
was like,
rampant.
but they said it
because
was
they don't want
accidental.
to.
They said it was accidental, but
Dan.
they don't want to say the gun got
You know
in.
why they did that?
Yeah,
They don't want people to think that their security missed it
Right.
on the way in.
Yeah,
So
right.
Chicago White
Make it
Sox
an
security
outsider.
sources WGN reported that the check of security footage, neither of the injured women set off metal detectors. So they checked the security footage and said neither of you set it off.
It's like John Malkovich, line of fire, plastic gun.
The attorney for the 42-year-old, I love that the 42-year-old has an attorney, and separate from the 26-year-old, all right? I love them. They're not
Her
represented.
attorneys, Peter Francis Geraci.
Said that his client did not bring the firearm to the. So now throwing the
My client-
26-year-old under the bus.
See?
I don't care that she knows TikTok. All right? The Chicago Tribune reported she denies bringing the firearm to the stadium and further denies having anything to do with the discharge of the firearm in the stadium. Again, all true.
Sure.
Did she even know she had the gun in her?
That's possible,
it's
too.
possible it was planted by a boyfriend,
It was
an
like
ex.
or a man. She's like a
Well, there's-
Manchurian candidate. I've been listening to so much JFK podcast right now. I'm like,
oh my God,
did
I'm a
you
little
listen?
behind on that, but I
Oh
started.
God,
it's great.
so good. Who killed JFK? Oh my God.
It's
Rob
such
Reiner.
a web. It's incredible. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Right.
Now I'm now
interesting.
Yeah.
insane. All right. So Attorney John Malm said in a statement per the Tribune, "We'll continue investigating this matter further to pursue justice on the behalf of our client, who sustained serious personal injuries as well as the shooting." All right. Fine.
What?
That's a great.
They dropped their cotton candy.
Something bit me. Officials have said little about where the bullets came from or if someone brought the gun in the stadium, but Fred Waller, interim superintendent of the Chicago Police Department, is that the most Chicago? Fred Waller,
Interim.
Interim's
He's like,
the
I
most
don't
Chicago.
need this shit. Yeah.
No one's hired permanent.
All right. First of all, as you all know, I am an interim. So anything I do here today is not legally binding. You can't hold hold this
I've
against
had
me?
that interim tag for about 5 years.
I'm just trying to keep the raft together, all right? That's all I'm here for.
I'm a stopgap.
Sir, do I smell alcohol in your breath?
What you smell is not irregardless of any dependency on my
We're
prohibitive
talking
action.
about a gun.
All right, so this fentanyl said Monday that investigators have nearly ruled out the possibility that the shots came from outside the ballpark, like you said.
Yeah.
We're dispelling a lot of things, Waller said during a brief.
Look at all that dispelling we're doing right now.
Shot came from outside something.
We've almost completely dispelled. All right, we're still looking at every avenue. It's still under investigation. Something from inside.
Yeah, I love this sort of.
Can I just say it's weird how the Boston accent makes me horny and the Chicago one just kills everything. Yes.
Yeah, it's so funny.
It's right. Well, there's nothing we can do about
She
it.
just don't know how to have fun.
That's her problem.
You gotta loosen up.
I don't think there's section right here.
It's like not sexy.
You know, we're made for eating and napping, all right? You want to have sex? Go somewhere else.
The Chicago is like deep dish.
Go to
You
the
get-
East Coast.
Why don't you go to the fancy ass East Coast, have your sex, whatnot, have you.
Also, the
and-
Chicago accent sounds like you're telling someone a secret they don't want to hear.
Hey, over there. Let me tell you something over
Tell you
there.
something. You dig into the deep dish.
Into that
You
over
wait
there.
5 minutes before you
I
have the
don't
second
know if
slice.
Laurie wants that.
You go, you go over here, have your crazy sex over here. You come over here, I'll be the big spoon waiting.
Come on over and sit on my lap. White Sox subsequently defended their decision to continue the game. I love that the White Sox are like, we gotta
fuck
finish
it.
this.
Yeah,
thing
we're
out.
gonna keep playing.
What else is gonna go
One
wrong?
gun? Yeah, keep playing.
One shot, one graze. Upon receiving notification of the incident, CPD responded immediately. Chicago Police Department had deployed
Bitch your ass.
additional services while coordinating with the White Sox security to maintain the safety. They just kept playing the game.
They kept playing the game.
Which is so are those who were in attendance, which we'll do that at the very end. At no time was it believed that there was an active threat. The team announced after the game that a previously scheduled concert with, you want to guess who the previous?
Cheap trick, my friend.
Nope. You are not going to believe this trio. And I'm like, I can't believe
This is in my brain somewhere because I remember it, but I can't.
So the team announced that after the game,
Vanilla Ice.
the previously scheduled concert with Vanilla Ice, Rob Bass, Tone Loc have been canceled due to technical issues.
No, that's a woman's gun in her.
I know you guys all wanted the go ninja go, but we can't. It's not happening anymore.
do it.
All right, we got one goddamn graze and we shut the whole thing down.
So the crazy thing about it is that the question then is, why would you bring a gun into the game? Like under
Don't
what?
bring a gun to a ball fight.
I don't understand. You want to be protected, maybe, but I just.
Also, it seems like it would be in an emergency hard to reach. Like
Right.
you're
You
gonna
gotta
have
go
to go
under the
like
shirt,
this and
pull it out,
stretch out. Yeah.
Yeah, lift your flap.
get into the
Yeah.
stretch marks.
All right, guess the attendance.
So we're gonna guess the attendance. Aaron has it, and I'll guess this too.
Out of 40,000.
It's out of 40,000
capacity.
capacity.
Okay.
Right. But don't worry, guys. You don't need to go anywhere
nowhere.
near that number.
Keep it
If
in
I remember
single
correctly,
digits.
this was like a Tuesday or Wednesday night.
Yeah.
It might have been a Friday night.
I say
Actually, because it was a concert. Maybe it wasn't Friday night.
5,450. 5,450. Lori, what do you think?
I'll say 300.
Alex, I'll take 300.
I'll take Comiskey for 300. What do you think, Dan?
Because I believe it was a Friday night, I'm going to go 8,900.
I'm going to go 13,100. Get your answers in, townies. Aaron, reveal, if you can, the attendance at that Chicago White Sox game.
You guys are all a little low.
Yo.
21,906.
Wow, so half
That was
full.
really low.
It's a half full stadium.
full.
Yeah.
21,906, and the
glass is half full. The stadium is half full.
The stadium is
guys. I
half
say it
full.
as opposed.
That is story number one. Daniel, you got story number two, and we're going to find out about Laurie's special and all the stuff that we have going on right after this break. It's Dumb People Town with Laurie Kilmartin. We'll be right back.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Our guest is the great Laurie Kilmartin, one of our favorite comedians, a brilliant writer who understands immediately. If you just listen to the first segment of the show, she gets it. She understands what we're doing and is hilarious at every turn. Before we get into her special and how you can watch it, consume it, support it, and then see her and support her,
we should tell you what we have going on. And I sort of we're figuring out when this will drop, but if it drops before we go to Detroit, we'll be at Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. It's been so long since we've been there, like over 30 years. It was the first place we ever got paid to do comedy. We were at the University of Michigan, and we just haven't been back because we've been doing Ann Arbor's. But to our Detroit friends, going to show some love and go to Royal Oak. We'll be there February 29th, March 1st, and March 2nd. And then the beginning of April, we'll be at Acme Comedy Company in Minneapolis, one of the best rooms ever, with our buddy Nate Abshire and our friend Wendy Mayberry. She's going to be opening for us. She's so great.
Any relation to Jack Mayberry?
I don't know, but we'll check.
She's a great local Minneapolis
comedian.
Okay.
So sweet. And then we're going to be at Moon Tower Comedy Fest doing all the stuff that we do.
And then Salt Lake City.
At Jordan Landing in the middle of May. Supersklars.com. We'll be doing Taggets and whatnot over at Largo, which is really fun, which you should do that show. Dan has done it.
Such a great show.
Laurie, tell us about the special, where people can see it. And if it's any of the stuff that you just did in that special, we know it's like just good stuff.
I think I may have done some.
Okay.
But I'm trying to, it's called Cis Woke Grief Slut. And
I love
that
all
title
of
was
that.
not taken.
really?
The Library of Congress.
I mean, I had to go .net, but whatever.
It's on Apple TV, Amazon Prime, YouTube, and then like Google Play. You know, like the little lesser ones as well.
It's great.
So, yeah.
Awesome. I love it. So you can. I'm very excited.
Where'd you film it?
The El Portal Theater. It was, Comedy Dynamics. They did like 17 specials in 4 days, so I was one of them.
Great.
Yeah, it was cool.
Oh my God, that's so
Who
fun.
were you? Who else did it on your day?
Leah Reddick, and I think Mary Basmanian. It's her. I'm messing up her last name. It's
okay.
Armenian.
Yeah.
And
Great.
somebody else, but I forget.
Okay. And you like the audience?
Yeah, the audience was great.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it was
so fun. Oh my God. All right, check it out. Support
Check it out. And are you performing, or are you doing any road stuff, or are you just in town working and writing? And
I'm not really writing. I mean, I would love to write on something. I'm not.
Okay, you hear that?
Yes, please.
Make it happen.
I will be at the Lincoln Lodge in Chicago.
Nice.
Love it.
March 20th. The 21st through the 23rd, I'll be at Ann Arbor.
Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase. It's one of my favorite places.
You
in the
know
world.
what? It's weird.
I'm sending my daughter.
Oh, really?
She
to
goes
Michigan?
to school there. She's there. She's there already. I'm going to send her to your show.
Oh, cool.
She'll
I
love
think
it.
we talked about this, right? Yeah. And I was just at the Comedy Castle. I, too, had gone 30 years without being there. I'm like, why? It's
Did you have
such a
fun?
great room.
You had great.
Yes.
Good shows.
It's an incredible room.
Good
Yeah,
shows,
it's
great
like an
people.
old school comedy club.
That's right.
Right, it's like
I
a
love it.
big square
Yes.
room with a high ceiling and
Yeah.
like an old school big stage
Yeah.
with like a door you walk through that's like an apartment door, right?
Yeah.
And you come on stage and it's and you just crush in there because the audience is like so present with you. Man, I'm so excited. I
Yeah.
hope people show up to our shows. I hope
they
we
will.
get some folks.
They will.
It's really fun.
They pack it
great.
in. It's
Ooh, I
great.
love it.
That's so good. All right, we love that. Ann Arbor, go get yourself some Zingermans when you're in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, I know. I've got
best of
to.
the best.
Yeah.
So again, is it LaurieKilmartin.com? Where can
Yes.
people? Okay, wonderful. I love it. All right,
Thanks.
Daniel, let's jump into the second
do it.
story.
Ready?
And then we'll hear what you have going on in the next segment.
Sent in by Alvin Catabay at @Catabay36.
Who we met. Jay and I met Alvin Catabay.
You did?
Hey, we did, and it was where we were in Portland, and we met Alvin Catabay.
He said he came up to us and he was like,
no, his friends who were with him said, "Do you know who this is?"
And we're like,
"No,
"Who?
who is this? How would we know who this is?" It's like, that's Alvin Catabay. We're like, of the Catabay egg.
that is our favorite Easter
It's our favorite Easter treat.
delicacy.
You open up the chocolate egg, and there is little Alvin.
He was he was so wonderful.
He was so-
I love
You know how like you do shows and like you take pictures with people, and then we're like, "Hang on a second," to the person. You gotta.
yeah.
You need to take a picture of us with the Catabay egg.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I love that he sent this in.
All right, ready for this?
Yes.
This, I'm sure we can all talk about experiences reflective of this story. Delta flight with maggots on plane forced to turn around.
Shouldn't that be Spirit Air? I don't know.
Dude, are you guys Delta? Are you Delta?
I love Delta. I'm sorry.
I can't because they don't do nonstop LA to Chicago.
Oh, shit.
It would be too many flights.
JetBlue, I like. JetBlue and Southwest.
Southwest,
and then,
I'm a
I
Southwest
love
person.
Southwest.
Southwest we love. Delta we are because we have the credit card that gets us into the lounge. So that's a very
That
big.
is important.
super
Also,
card.
I'm flying back now that my daughter's in Ann Arbor, and we go back back to so you go to Detroit. Whenever you go to Detroit, it's all Delta.
Detroit,
And
Minneapolis,
Right.
all Delta.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's and sometimes you can get some other flights that are on Delta, but we very stupidly at the very beginning of our stand-up career
never
did
picked.
not just pick one airline and say we're all going to do this so that we become like platinum members.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
There's still
Yeah.
time.
I think
you would do it within a year. Just so you know.
Maria Bamford and Jackie are heavy into Delta and
Right.
are
Rory is too.
very elite.
Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And Minneapolis.
Atlanta, it's like goes through Atlanta. I mean,
I would do it in Harper. I think I'm going to end up. I might switch to American. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Ready?
all right.
But these maggots, that
These
might
damn
make
maggots.
Maggots on these Delta
Maggots
flights.
might be a game changer.
Wasn't that Samuel L. Jackson? I'm tired of all these motherfucking maggots on this motherfucking plane.
A Delta Airlines flight scheduled to fly, not a common route, from Amsterdam to Detroit.
You know the old Amsterdam to Detroit.
That old route.
Maybe
That'll-
it's more common than we think.
It could be, I
It's
guess.
literally a flight that was chartered by Eminem. He's like, I need some more weed.
That old corridor.
A Delta Airlines flight scheduled to fly from Amsterdam to Detroit turned around mid-trip.
Oh, boy.
After maggots were discovered aboard the aircraft.
Oh, my God.
Where?
An airline spokesperson confirmed that flight 1:33 a.m.
How many hours did they
ET
tell the person to just deal with
Were
it?
they over the sea?
was interrupted due to an improperly packed carry-on bag without providing additional details
Oh
into
my
the cause of the
God.
disruption.
I would beat on this
The
person.
spokesperson added that the customers were compensated for their inconvenience.
You can't.
The
How are you going to compensate?
The aircraft returned to the gate and passengers were placed on the next available flight, Delta said in
By
a
the way,
statement.
how happy was Delta that it's like somebody it's someone else?
It's not their fault.
It's not our
Right.
fault.
It's not. It didn't come with the
I
plane.
would put his face on the curb and curb stomp
What
him.
what was Pat? Was
I'm
it
going to tell you.
okay?
This is it. The airline added that the aircraft was removed from service for cleaning. Philip Schott, Schotte, a passenger from the Netherlands who was on the flight, told Fox Tuesday Detroit that he witnessed maggots drop on a passenger from a suitcase in the overhead compartment.
No.
So that person now
'Cause your
can
first
never
thing
be
is
on a
like-
plane ever again.
No.
That's a
First thing is like,
phobia.
what
That's
the-
the birth of a phobia. That's the beginning.
Maggots.
Or the beginning of a superhero. She becomes
Maggot man.
maggot woman.
But what was in that suitcase? Do we know?
Yes.
What?
Okay.
What
Please
kind of
get to
stale
it.
food? She's like, I am packing for a trip, and I want to know.
I need to know how to go maggot free.
We're 2 sentences away. This is still Schott talking. She was freaking out, Schott told the publication. She was just trying to kind of fight off these maggots.
Oh my God!
God.
Now that's a lot of. If you're in
That
a
is-
fight-off situation,
Fisticuffs.
if it's you versus maggots, where you're like these, I gotta fight these
You're
maggots.
never gonna win. It's like I imagine the maggots
too
all
many
gathered
maggots.
in a maggot fist.
Because 3 is enough for you to go. Hold on,
I'm out.
right?
See, I'm always an aisle seater, but this would send me to the window for the rest of my
Yes.
life.
Fine.
If
Send her to
I'm
the
exit
window.
row, I'm window.
To the windows, to the walls.
Get these maggots off my balls.
Yes, Dan.
It's got to be 10, right? At least 10 maggots.
Oh no,
More
it's
than
gotta
that.
be
It's
like
like 50.
50.
I don't really know what was going
'Cause
through
you
my
would
mind.
just shake them off,
yeah,
and then you
and-
get them on other people.
Oh.
I don't really
they're
know.
so tiny. At first,
And
how
you
would
know what?
Notice?
They always are there.
Oh, you'll
So
never not feel it.
my cousin is a EMT firefighter, paramedic.
Yeah.
And what happens, there's a big truck stop in Rochelle, Illinois, where I'm
Right.
from. Shout out Rochelle.
Yeah.
And this happens, I don't want to say once a summer, but you don't go too many years without it happening. A trucker will die in their cab.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Okay.
And then
Here come the
unless
maggots.
they have like a GPS thing, it'll be a while before somebody knows, like, hey, that truck hasn't moved.
Right.
And so they've gone to where you've had to go into the cab. The person had a heart attack in their sleep.
No.
And my cousin, Kenny, shout out Ken, will tell me that there'll be nothing in there except for a person and personal belongings. And somehow there will be maggots.
Yeah.
They're just
My
They're
favorite.
just waiting.
they're just always around. If you let anything sit for long enough, just maggots
They find their way to
will
you.
just show up.
Yeah.
There's a what are those called where you could like close everything into a jar and make a little ecosystem in a jar?
Oh, terrarium.
Yes. And people will go,
There's nothing in here.
Maggots showed up.
They just showed up.
A David
in there.
Blaine thing.
Yes.
So are they inside of us? Are they?
This is research that I just have never
death
done.
Create the conception of maggots?
Yeah, death
Yes.
creates the birth of
Garth,
maggots.
Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Yeah.
Maggots.
I don't really know what was going through my mind. I was trying to process it. Disgust is one thing, of course. Schott said we had to wait there for help to come. He initially believed the incident was a prank. Not a great prank. Here it is. But flight attendants traced the insects to a passenger's carry-on bag, which contained rotten fish wrapped in newspaper.
No.
The passengers told the news outlet.
So
Who the fuck?
This is where
I will
everyone
beat
can be
that person silly.
Right.
Beat them into a pulp and be like,
'Cause we've
you need to learn not to
especially
do
us
this again.
comics flying all the time. We've all had who is eating that.
Yeah.
Right.
on
To
this
even
plane.
bring fish on a plane.
I once.
Sickening.
Do you guys
Dumb
know what
fuck.
bonito flakes are? Any of you guys love cats as much as I do?
No.
Okay, so bonito flakes are like little treats. You'll find them sometimes on shishito peppers.
They're
if you order
fish-flavored treats?
Yes,
Sure.
they are extremely pungent.
Yeah.
They work well in certain types of like Asian food or
Right.
drizzled onto shishito
But not
peppers.
sitting on a plane.
I was on a plane once.
Someone
This
just
dude
opened
had
up a bag
of fish flakes.
Oh, God.
And was just eating them, and it was
Eating
like
them?
Yes,
Oh,
just
God.
eating them. You know what you could do when they're on shishitos, but not by the handful, and not in a little tube that we're all trying to like
God.
fly across the
When
country.
did the maggots come?
So the maggots.
Came out of the fish bag.
So this dummy.
But like you have people go with pizza or food that they've got from whatever. I like my go-to is I have
like
a Jersey Mike's sandwich.
It was
my little
open.
airplane
His
sandwich.
bag had to have been
So
open.
you have to
a
be
little.
like, this is where they say, whose bag is this? And then the person has to claim the bag.
Stand up, and then everyone get one.
Also,
punch.
they brought.
One punch man.
One punch.
Also, if you think about the timeline, they brought rotten fish onto the plane.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't turn over the sea, but it can't have been a suitcase with a zipper. It's got to have been like a bag.
Yes.
That
like not even
like
a bag.
a tote.
Right,
Right.
a tote bag.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the maggots crawled out.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Oh my.
And then someone opened the overhead.
Enough maggots for it to be a problem.
Dude, this is in the maggot horror movie. The stewardess opens it up and they just all come
No.
out. So,
Oh my.
like you
Can't
just
handle this.
Can you imagine that scene?
Flight
That would be
tracking
worse
site
than-
FlightAware shows the plane only got as far as the UK before doing a U-turn and returning to Amsterdam.
And you come back and it lands and it's just the whole plane has been stripped and been eaten by maggots.
Maggots.
It's just the
Everyone runs off like.
the shell of
But
the plane.
they should not have been allowed in the airport. Like they need to go to a decontamination unit
Right.
to be
They got to have the
loused.
Silkwood shower.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I saw a video last week of two men getting into it on a plane, and then one guy just starts punching another guy.
What?
And instantly you're like, well, you don't get to fly ever again.
No, ever.
I wonder, does this qualify?
Yeah, you lose your rights to fly.
At least a year.
a year.
I'd go a year. No, because it's like,
You don't
hey
know
man,
how to do it.
learn.
So
you
you-
didn't like violently attack anybody. You made a really stupid mistake, and you need to understand you
But
can't
he's
do
from
this.
Amsterdam. How do you sue him?
Oh, is he? Is he?
I don't know.
No, he
don't
may
know.
not be from
Detroit.
Amsterdam.
I mean-
He's just in Amsterdam.
Right.
Could be our buddy Sam Richardson heading back home.
It's just a Detroiter.
After Sam Richardson.
A Detroiter.
A Detroit. No.
Could be.
How? Okay, so when the it goes through TSA, right? So
Right.
That's a great point
that's
too.
another thing.
There's
you
people
don't,
who let
you don't
this
see
happen.
movement in a
Who
bag.
missed that?
Or just TSA going, what are you doing with fish?
What
Right.
smells?
Right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you
What
see the
smells
Yeah,
like
because
outline
they're
of
shit in
already
here?
rotten.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What smells like shit in here? Get it out of here.
Also, there's a part of me that believes this person pulled one of those, I'm going to put my bag far away from where I'm sitting.
Oh, yeah, as I'm
Like in
coming
my-
down. So
yeah.
they sat in 34, but
They-
put it up in 17.
Oh,
Yes.
I hate that.
Oh my
That's so
God!
rude.
I mean,
yes.
keep the maggots
Yeah,
away.
the whole row's empty and the overhead's all taken.
Right.
What happened?
What?
Yes.
What are we doing, guys? What are we doing, guys? You literally just out to the world. Hey, guys.
Oh, you open
What
it
are
up.
we
Oh,
doing?
come on! Are you serious?
what are we doing?
Okay, I'll look. I'll look. Brenda. Brenda, it's your tag. Okay.
Oh my! No one's saying anything.
Yeah, nobody says anything.
So what happened to the
Passengers
guy?
are permitted to travel with food, including both fresh and frozen meat, seafood, and vegetables under Transportation Security Administration rules. In September, never mind.
This is like
But
bringing
internationally,
that.
are you allowed to bring meat
right,
into a different country?
wildlife.
There's
I would
no
say
are.
that wildlife.
Says you are.
No.
But that'd be flying within the United States.
But you're
This
not
isn't
allowed to
that.
bring like apples into Washington. You drive in and just state to state. So this is weird.
I know,
as
and they
well.
also have that thing between Nevada and California.
Like pesticides.
At this point, when you do that drive from Vegas, no one cares anymore.
Yeah,
They're
no one's checking.
They don't check.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is for that we're still doing. Somebody's
Also,
getting
if you're
paid
going
for it.
to Vegas for apples, you've done it wrong.
I don't know. Have you seen Apple's dance? He is awesome.
I mean, you could come back in with crabs.
No, but isn't that like this is like this is straight up. We're not bringing COVID into this country. We're not bringing contaminated meat. It's going to create
you
cow
can't
disease.
bring
Fish.
maggots into this country. It's just,
No, we have
Travelers.
plenty.
We'll get out of here.
you throw away the plane. Am I right?
We don't need Dutch maggots.
Right. It's,
We like our American maggots.
bring me those Dutch maggots.
Taking away jobs from
A
our
vote for
American
me.
maggots.
A vote for me is a vote for American maggots, homegrown maggots.
These maggots
I
come
promise.
across our border every day.
Domesticated maggots.
They
You mean
come in
domesticated?
people's hair.
Oh my God!
Mingling your maggots with our American maggots.
Travelers who were delayed overnight because of the incident were compensated with hotel accommodation,
Not enough.
a $30 meal ticket.
What?
Oh, a fish?
$30 gives take over at Fish King.
And just for fun, how many air miles? How many air miles did they give people who were screwed over because of fish and maggots on a
Maggots
plane?
falling on their heads.
Yes.
Well, the woman who had it falling on her head, she should become a now
gold.
own
She was
the airline.
fighting
Yeah,
off
right.
maggots.
She should become a gold member.
Randy, go first.
Immediately, I think they were like, "Here, take 15,000 miles. Like
Okay.
not enough for a flight."
I say 50.
50 period.
50,000.
50,000.
Yes.
25,000.
They were given hotel accommodation,
$30,
$30 meal ticket,
which is nothing.
and 8,000 air miles.
Oh my God! Fuck off! That is
like
so
$80.
That is ridiculous.
It's like $80.
That is
Lori's this.
about
Lori goes,
No.
that's about as many maggots that fell on her head, right?
Yeah, you should get more miles than maggots.
More miles than
Have we
maggots.
said
more
that?
miles than maggots might be the title of this episode.
I have a story about this in my act, so I'm not going to do the whole thing. But
Okay.
the thing is a guy was jerking off next to me on JetBlue, and
Oh, my
they
God.
gave me a certificate for $100 off my next flight.
That's not enough.
They're not compensating us
I
enough.
call that an unhappy ending. You're like, didn't want to be a part of that Mile High Club. That is like, I mean, did you call the person? I mean, you don't want to
No,
start.
don't. I
anything.
want to see the special.
Oh, it's not in the special, but
okay.
I'm still developing it because
Okay.
it grosses people out, so
It
I have to
is-
like calm
all
them
right.
down a little bit.
Pleasuring himself. You got to use terms like pleasuring himself.
Yeah, the Howard Stern on regular radio.
Regular radio,
terms.
terrestrial
Yes,
radio,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
I think you can for that, and then you're just like, God, this is just the audacity.
Oh, I can't
Also,
wait
the
to see
freedom.
this.
You were a little mad at like how free this guy was, right?
And also the
Yeah,
fact that
who
he
is
chose
this
to
guy?
Why
do it.
can't I do
How
it?
dare he enjoy himself?
It's so much more harder for girls to do that.
And
Having
he
his
chose
own-
to do it while I was waiting for them to pass across the aisle my apple juice. Like I had to wait for him to finish.
Oh, those were
Turbulence.
not maggots in my eyes, guys.
All right, that's
Let's
story
take a break
2.
on that. Jay, give us a little taste of what we're going to hear in segment two.
Someone gets arrested for going through the McDonald's drive-thru, and it's because of how they paid. It's the weirdest.
Okay.
Okay, good.
All right.
I love this.
McDonald's shenanigans.
McDonald's shenanigans on the other side of the break. Laurie Kilmartin is with us. She's got a new special. You can check it out on pretty much everything: Amazon Prime, Apple, and Google,
YouTube,
and all,
yeah.
YouTube, and all that other stuff.
It's called one more time.
Cis, CIS, cis woke grief slut.
You said it, not us. I'm very excited for you. I'm very excited for it. We come back. We'll hear what Dan's got going on. This is Dumb People Time with Laurie Kilmartin. We'll be right back.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Gents, it's almost spring. Weather's getting warmer.
Love it.
Father's Day's never too far away.
Oh, it's on
Unless
the
you're me.
horizon.
However, you need to start thinking about what you're going to wear.
Totally.
Thank God we have Faraday.
I love these guys so much. So
it's an embarrassment of riches when you pick out, I want something new that's going to make me feel good as we work into these warmer months.
Various things, from the long sleeve button downs
Which
to
are
all
the best.
the movement stuff. The movement chinos have become my favorite pants.
this little sweater thing that I'm wearing is lightweight, comfortable, amazing. I always get compliments on it. We always get compliments on our Faraday clothes. They have somehow figured out a way to create clothes that look good, that are easily the most comfortable clothes.
And you know what I love about their website? Because their brick and mortars are great too. They're very good about matching what you're going to see. They're very good about showing you texture and color. Like, it doesn't come looking different. And they back everything up. Like, they love their quality. They love what they do, and they stand behind everything they make 100%. It's so easy if you're like, oh, it didn't fit me the way I wanted it to. Thank God this other thing does.
They're like our show. We're always like, listen to one episode and you're going to get hooked.
You'll be
I think
hooked
these
for
guys
life.
get one piece of clothing from
Treat
these
yourself.
guys and
Treat
you're
somebody
in.
else.
I know they've got a bunch of new movement stuff coming out. The new movement sweaters are lightweight. They're great layering and stuff. But I'm telling you, man, the movement chinos, all their movement collection is incredible. I got a movement blazer that I wear. I wore a blazer the other day that we wore for that conference thing that I absolutely love. So here's the deal. For our listeners and listeners of this show, Faraday Brand is offering 20% off your first order when you enter the promo code 20DPT at checkout.
Yep. Go to FaradayBrand.com/DPT. That's FaradayBrand.com/DPT and enter 20DPT at checkout and check them out.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. I want to ask both of you guys, and I'll answer it too.
Okay.
If you had more time in your life, what would you do? Like, what would you do if you had this extra time? Would you pick something up that's new, or what would you do more of?
Oh, man.
God, I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
I would
it's
love-
overwhelming a little bit to think about it.
I'd love to practice guitar
Me
more.
too. That was one
yeah?
of the things I
I
wanted
would
to
say
do.
surfing, maybe, or learning an instrument.
Or another language.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you say to yourself, okay, these are things I'd love to do, but I don't have the time to do it. How do we figure this stuff out?
How do we figure out how to manage our time? How do we figure out how to deal with the overwhelm of a lot of decisions to be made? Therapy becomes this thing. I think sometimes for a while, therapy had this stigmatism, like you go there if you have problems with your childhood. Yeah, that's part of it. But sometimes we go to therapy as somebody to talk to who's not in your inner circle, but who can take the time to get to know you, to help you sort out your life and figure yourself
You may
out.
be valuing or putting too much value on things that are not that important, and therapy can help you
help you
figure all that
release
stuff
those
out.
things and turn your life into the important
So
things.
I love BetterHelp. If you're thinking about giving therapy a try, give BetterHelp a try. Okay, it's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist. And hey, switch therapists at any time at no additional
That's my favorite
charge.
thing. I love that. Learn to make time for what makes you happy with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/TPT to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/DPT.
Stick around, make a sound, there's more Dumb People Town.
Hey gang, we are back. I hope you guys are doing well and made yourself a Dagwood sandwich in the break. Daniel, let people know I am very excited about the Rose Gold special.
Yeah, my special slut grief player. Rose Gold comes out on April 17th. Please check it out. Go to Daniel Van Kirk for all of my dates, and you can watch my movie Wine Club, which is still out there. Jump on
good,
Prime or Apple.
Really, really
How long
fun.
is it? Is it a full feature?
Yeah, it's a feature. Yeah.
Dan is the lead in this great feature.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So good. You can get to watch
Yeah.
on Apple, Amazon Prime, and
it's,
Oh, cool.
and it's really fun, and I think people really love
He's
it.
so
And let
good
me
at
know if you watched it. Let me know.
Oh yeah. This will be a doorway to many other things that you will do.
Thanks. I'm working on some other projects right now because of it. Thankfully.
Amen.
So,
Oh, neat.
Yeah. DanielVanKirk.com. There's dates and stuff where you can see me. If I don't know if this is in March, maybe I was in DC, or I'm about to be. Yeah.
Just come see him live. He is
DanielVanKirk.com.
fantastic.
April 9th in LA, Elysian Theater, the celebration party for my special.
I will be there.
I
April
can't
9th.
wait. Yeah.
Love it.
Cool.
All right, let's get into this. This is the headline. It's sent in by Derek, the legendary daddy at Game Design Dude. It's not Derek Lipkin, but
No,
it
it's Game Design
could be.
Dude.
Game
Could be and it should
Design
be.
Dude.
GDD.
All right. I was arrested. This is the headline.
I love a headline that's already.
This
it's
is
like,
me.
It's like
The
when the
diary?
cops. It's like when the cops pull up and the person's outside, be like, "Now listen, before sir, just get down." Like this is a headline, and it's like,
I was arrested.
yeah.
It's already over explained.
Cosmo, here's
3
what I
words in.
did.
Now you're gonna hear a lot of stories tonight.
Let me get in front. I want to get in front of it.
And make it worse.
I didn't know the fish should turn.
It was a good halibut when I packed it into my carry-on.
All right, so this could be a diary. I don't know what it is. I was arrested after picking up my food at the McDonald's drive-thru. Cops charged me when they saw how I paid. All right,
Great headline, by the way.
the man.
Economy of words.
Yeah.
This is how this starts. The man earlier this year had been charged with assault, among other charges.
What
After
man? Where? It's terrible writing.
From Iowa's?
From the Iowa's. That
Yeah.
guy.
Okay.
The eye.
It's a bad book report.
After handing a restaurant worker the bill to pay for his meal, Eric Stack,
who was cut out of Back to the
Shot.
Future. Originally, the original Marty McFly.
ERRIC.
Oh.
Eric Stack. I'm not going to tell you how old
That's
he was.
misspelled. I really think it's misspelled.
Went through a McDonald's drive-thru in Oxford, Maine in March of 2023.
Okay.
He was reportedly falling asleep in the drive-thru, and when he pulled up to the window, he handed the worker a rolled up $10 bill. The employee opened the bill when a white powdery substance spilled out, covering her hands in the counter.
Baby powder.
Why is he asleep after doing cocaine?
The powder was later tested and identified as what?
I say cocaine.
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 I mean,
No, you're asking. It makes me think it's meth.
yeah. Anthrax? Do you think he was
I
snorting
love where you're going, but
I don't know.
fentanyl.
Oh, dude.
Stack.
Why do you have loose fentanyl?
Listen to this. Stack still got his order and left the restaurant.
Okay.
What? You're going to give him fentanyl? And they're like, just take it. Please take your food.
McDonald's will wash this off.
The worker.
both will kill you. So
Ready-
who
ready for
cares?
this?
One a little bit longer than it takes longer than the other.
The worker who police said was pregnant.
No. Can't give fentanyl.
Started to feel sick after the interaction.
Yeah. What?
There's a baby in
Well,
her.
she
So
did
she
the
she
fentanyl.
got it on her fingers.
Fingers.
She
And then
probably
she like
touched
rubbed it into her gum.
as one does.
Oh, guys, I'm doing drugs for 2.
My baby needs it.
I'm doing a bump from a bump.
She was medically evaluated and doesn't have any lasting health concerns.
Thank
according to
God.
the-
Good.
Police tracked down Stack the same day he went to the food joint. That's the only
Is that
thing
what they wrote?
Joint.
But that's the only thing they got right because it's not a restaurant. We've established this.
But I mean,
This
food
person-
joint makes McDonald's seem more fun.
A food joint sounds like a place that could exist.
Yeah.
It's like
called
calling
food joint.
calling a rap group a band.
But this person is putting in their 2 weeks tomorrow.
But
Whoever wrote
can I
this.
say a rolled up $10 bill doesn't seem as firm as like a rolled up 20?
20.
Right.
You know, like,
Even though
those
it's the
those
same
have been
paper.
around.
10s
Yeah.
are the most unused bill.
yeah, I mean a 10.
Oh, but they always seem so old, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Whenever I
saying.
get a 10.
Yeah, they're hardly
Yeah.
in circulation.
Oh, they
Yeah.
have like the old numbers on it.
Yeah,
Very,
like
the
that's-
skinny 10.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not a good place to store your fentanyl. That's all I'm saying.
If we've learned anything today, it's that don't
Store
put
your fentanyl and higher bills.
Thank you.
They charged him with aggravated assault, reckless conduct with a dangerous weapon, unlawful drug possession. I mean, so he was falling asleep and he did this. How old? We'll get out of here on this. This is a quickie. How old is Eric Stack?
32.
I mean,
25.
32, 25.
I think he's 44.
Okay.
Eric
With the
Stack.
fentanyl addiction?
Yeah, I just think he's like, this is where he couldn't stay awake. There's something weird about. I just
Okay.
think he's like getting past the prime here.
It is. Get your answers in, people.
Okay.
Check out Laurie's special.
Yes.
Sis,
woke,
woke, grief, slut.
Yeah.
Check us out live where we are. Go see her in Ann Arbor. See us in Detroit. Go see Dan and see his movie and watch the special. Eric Stack with 2 R's.
God damn.
Who handed fentanyl to a pregnant woman at McDonald's at the drive-thru.
Yeah.
Can I change my age?
What do you want?
19.
19? What'd
Wow,
you say?
you undercut me.
I
I,
want-
said 25.
I said 32.
Randy, you should have stayed where you were.
Wow.
Eric Stack is 42 years old.
Oh, no!
42 years old. Level up.
Don't be living this life. Not at any age.
And also, 42 years ago, people were misspelling names.
That's right.
That seems like more of a modern thing.
Yeah,
That's why I
right.
went
So
25.
that's good to know that people were screwing it up back then.
There
you go.
Show, friends.
Lori, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
This was
is
so fun. Thanks for
right?
having
right?
me.
So fun.
We'll have
Yeah.
you back. And
Love it.
oh shit, we gotta, get back to work.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.